From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Monday, January 11th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Today, House Democrats are moving forward with efforts to remove President Trump from office. We'll explain what they'll need next for impeachment.
It's just our postpartum care in general is just so outdated.
Many new mothers are struggling with postpartum depression, and the pandemic is making it harder to get the help that they need. Working for you, our Kelsey Anderson has one woman's struggle and the resources available to help you.
Thousands more Hoosiers are signed up to get a COVID-19 vaccine. But for some of the seniors eligible, transportation can be a challenge.
This is a need, and this need needs to be filled.
How the community is stepping up to help.
Good Monday morning to you and yours. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Megan Shin and Lauren Mano. Man, what a weekend.
Oh man, we were busy taking down our decorations, I know, watching the Colts. Raphael, hopefully you had a good weekend down there in Franklin.
We had a great weekend in Franklin, and Lauren and Megan, good morning to you. Todd Clausen, good morning to you. And knowing that January could be much colder, right? We are not going to complain. It's going to be okay on this Monday.
Yeah, a lot of times we could be talking about temperatures below freezing and below zero this time of year, Raphael. So it hasn't been all that bad. I know it hasn't been very sunny this first couple, 10, now 11th day of January. We've had some sunshine here and there, but it could be worse. Yeah, we could be dealing with those sub-zero temperatures and a lot of snow. Not the case. 25 as you walk out the door this morning in Bloomington, as well as Indianapolis, 25 in Peru, 27 in Muncie. Factor in a little bit of wind, and it does feel like it's in the teens anywhere you go. Definitely need to bundle up a little bit, and you can see the cloud cover as you look off to the west this morning. Visibility, though, not an issue. You see off in the distance the lights there in the city skyline, so you don't have to worry about anything as far as patchy fog or snow shower activity. There's a few flurries out there. Don't be shocked if you see them, but they're not going to be heavy enough to cause any visibility issues or slick spots on the roadways. That's the good news. But there is a lot of snow in, how about this, Mississippi this morning, as well as Alabama. But this storm system is going to bypass us to the south and then eventually off to the east. We're left with the cloud cover, though, and temperatures this morning that really are just not going to do a whole lot. We're only going to be in the mid to upper 20s throughout the first half of the day, and eventually, Lauren, we'll see our highs top off right around 33 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks. Let's get a check of traffic this morning as you're heading out the door. This is on the near east side, I-70 here at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue, just east of downtown. You can see traffic there is picking up, lots of headlights moving across your screen. Everything's traveling up to speed, both eastbound and westbound this morning. No delays to slow down your commute. Megan?
Lauren, thank you. Developing this morning, a search is underway for an escaped inmate. Police officers say he is armed, violent, and dangerous. Take a look at your screen. Authorities say 22-year-old Tyrell Deshaun White escaped from the Hancock County Jail around 6:30 last night. White is from Indianapolis, so officials believe he may be somewhere in Marion County. White was taking the trash out behind the jail at the time of his escape. And although he was supervised by jail officers, he was not in restraints and ran away. He was last seen wearing gray sweatpants and a gray sweatshirt. White is awaiting trial on several charges, including theft and unlawful possession of a firearm. If you see him, call 911.
So after the deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol, House Democrats are taking action this week to try and remove President Trump from office.
And Lauren, for the Democrats, their first step is to call on Vice President Mike Pence, Indiana's former governor, and the president's cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment. That would force President Trump from office and make Vice President Pence the 46th president of the United States for at least 9 days. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Pence will have 24 hours to respond to that resolution before they move forward with impeachment. Here's how it all works. To invoke the 25th Amendment, Vice President Pence would need to be on board and have a majority of the cabinet agree that President Trump is unfit for office. President Trump could then dispute that in a letter and argue his case. If there are arguments, Congress would then decide, needing a 2/3 supermajority to remove him from office. Lauren?
And Raphael, some new video of the riots shows more violence against the police officers who were protecting the Capitol at that time. And a warning, some of this video may be disturbing to some of our viewers. Let's take a look at it. The video is from a freelance photographer. It shows rioters beating a D.C. Metro police officer here. The photographer says this all happened around 4:30 that afternoon. Rioters were gathering here at the Capitol entrance, and you can see one person pull the officer to the ground. That's when the group begins beating him, even hitting him with a pole that's carrying the American flag. Other segments show rioters throwing things at officers trying to maintain a barricade. An U.S. Capitol police officer was one of the 5 people who died amid this violence at the Capitol. Officer Brian Sicknick died from his injuries in the riots. Hundreds of U.S. Capitol police lined the streets Sunday to honor Sicknick in a funeral procession. A memorial was also made outside of the Capitol with signs, flags, and flowers.
Behind the mental health crisis are thousands of Hoosiers seeking services, Raphael.
A serious issue for so many families. And our Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning with the story of a young woman, mother who struggled with postpartum depression and could not get the help that she needed. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. And so that young mother, she still has not received the help she needs. So Savannah Gannon, she had her second baby just under 3 months ago. And she says between those postpartum depression hormones and the isolation she feels because of the pandemic, she says she had thoughts she never thought she would. She says with her first child, she never experienced any serious postpartum depression symptoms. But with her second child, born less than 3 months ago, she had thoughts of suicide, thoughts that life would be easier if she wasn't here. And when she reached out to her physician, she was put on a wait list and still hasn't been able to talk to a professional. When she went to Facebook to vent about her experience and to ask for advice, she says that was her saving grace.
I've been one of those kind of pessimists regarding social media before, where I'm like, people post too much and they share too much about themselves and their personal lives on social media. But in reality, that was my saving grace this time, because if I hadn't reached out and if I hadn't seen the true support and community that I have, I don't know where I'd be mentally, and that's an even scarier thought.
So her advice to other mothers going through the same thing is to reach out, whether it be to your spouse, a friend, your parents, or to the digital world. Don't let your thoughts go without talking about them. Now, there are several resources that you can look to talk to people you can talk to outside of your provider. That includes Be Well Indiana, Healthy Families, and Nurse Family Partnership. I've got some links to those over on WRTV.com and also on Twitter. My Twitter is @K_WRTV. I've got several links there for you right now. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Definitely seek help. Thank you, Kelsey. Another grim milestone as COVID-19 cases worldwide reach 90 million, and that's according to Johns Hopkins University. The U.S. accounts for the highest number of more than 22 million. And here's a look at the latest data from Indiana. The State Department of Health reporting 5,127 new cases of the virus on Sunday, bringing the total case count to more than 563,000. 18 new deaths were also reported. That's down from 75 reported on Saturday. 8,613 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19 since the pandemic began, Lauren.
And Megan, it is 6:09. Medical officials are coming across another issue with distributing the COVID-19 vaccine. Some doses are expiring and being thrown away before they can be given to people in those high priority groups. John Lawrence explains why this is happening.
More than 22 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been distributed to hospitals and pharmacies nationwide so far, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Relax your arm to your side. Don't tense up.
But the CDC says fewer than 7 million people have received the first dose.
The issue is not the supply of the vaccine. The issue is not being able to get enough people injected with the vaccine.
Some hospitals are forced to throw away vaccines that quickly expired once they were taken out of cold storage.
This is such a precious resource, and really this wastage should not be tolerated at all.
Health experts say there may be a lag in vaccine reporting, but some actions can be taken to improve the process.
If there are, let's say, 3 doses in a vial that are not used, that the pharmacists or nurses should be allowed to give that to whoever is around instead of wasting it.
This comes as more than 2.2 million new COVID-19 cases and about 27,000 deaths were reported in the U.S. during the first 10 days of 2021, according to Johns Hopkins University.
We have a lot more that we need to do because right now across the country, the freezers are filling up with this vaccine, and it's not where we need it.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Good morning to Greenwood, Greencastle, and Greensburg. Hoosiers 80 and older unable to get to their COVID-19 shot. Don't worry about it, because soon you'll be getting some help to get to your vaccination site. The Beech Grove Senior Citizens Center is one of several that will not provide free rides to vaccine appointments. Leaders with the center say they're already received calls from seniors who are in need. Betty McElroy is looking forward to getting vaccinated so that she can see a new family in person for the first time, including a new family addition.
I have just recently got my first great-grandchild. And of course, I haven't been able to do much connection with him. So I'm really looking forward to that.
The rides are free for seniors who live in Beech Grove and the surrounding area. Now, several local health departments are telling WRTV that they're also working to finalize transportation options for seniors. So far, statewide, nearly 86,000 Hoosiers have signed up to get vaccinated. Time now to check your local forecast on this Monday morning. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. We're just dealing with a few flurries this morning across parts of central Indiana, while Mississippi and Alabama are dealing with a lot of snow. That storm track stays to our south, but I'll let you know how it will impact our weather going forward throughout the remainder of the week. Coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
/Jefferson Awards.
Welcome back. People who stay or sleep in a Bloomington park must leave by tonight, Raphael.
Let's take you to Monroe County, where the city of Bloomington says it's cracking down on homelessness in Seminary Park. This comes after a 51-year-old man was found dead in that park on Christmas Eve. A sign posted at the park gave notice about the enforcement and reminded people that it is illegal to stay there overnight. The Bloomington Homeless Coalition says that Seminary Park is a popular location for the homeless because it's centralized and it's near the services that they need. The coalition has started a petition asking the mayor to stop removing people from the park.
We would like the city to just work with us instead of against us. There are a lot of other organizations that are trying to get these people safe places to live, but it doesn't happen overnight. We've got more places opening up that these people can live in a few months. Why can't they just wait until these people get actual houses and homes and apartments? It's right around the corner. But for some reason, they want to push them into the woods and make it so that they can't be seen.
The sign posted at the park says that tents and personal belongings left there past 11 tonight will be removed and stored for 30 days. It also provides a list with the phone numbers for shelters and other resources. Now, the city says the park restriction is not a new rule, but has not been enforced for the last few weeks to give people time to find safer options. Megan?
Raphael, the city of Indianapolis plans to enforce similar restrictions on Monument Circle starting tomorrow at noon. Part of the circle will be closed to any encampments. Personal property will be removed. The IMPD homeless unit says it will provide housing to anyone who has been camping out in the outer loop. The Department of Public Works will also provide storage for up to 60 days, Lauren.
Megan, it is 6:17. Let's go out to the nation's capital. The mayor of Washington, D.C. is calling for increased security on Inauguration Day set for next week. The mayor, Muriel Bowser, has asked for a pre-disaster declaration to allow for federal assistance, citing the deadly protests at the Capitol last week. She's also asked that the security period be extended for 4 days after Inauguration Day and include the Capitol in the perimeter. Bowser is also urging that any applications for demonstrations be denied during that period as well. And this morning, Indiana will have its own inauguration celebration. Governor Eric Holcomb, Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, and Attorney General-elect Todd Rokita will be sworn into office. Now, because of the pandemic, they will hold a small ceremony at the Indiana State Museum. This is not open to the public, but it will be live streamed. It is Monday morning. Let's get a check of our forecast as we start a brand new work week, Todd.
And we're starting off the new work week, much as we left off last week with lots of clouds around, unfortunately, Lauren. In fact, you have to go back a full week to last Monday that we had any decent amount of sunshine here across the area. The clouds are in place as we get going on this Monday and then starting the new work week. And it's going to be real tough once again to thin these clouds out as we progress throughout the day. Look at these temperatures this morning in the 20s, 23 in Richmond, 26 in Greencastle, 25 in Bloomington as well as Indy. There's a little bit of a wind out there. It's not super strong, but it is enough to factor in wind chills that are currently sitting in the teens. So hats and gloves are required for the kids as they head off to the bus stop here this morning if they are not doing the remote learning. As far as where we go from here, well, this morning temperatures are just not really going to move much at all. We sit at 25 right now. And look at this, by the noon hour, your temperature is up to 28 degrees. So it's going to be a struggle to see these temperatures start to climb across the area. And with the wind, it's going to feel even a little bit cooler. So keep that in mind as you start to prepare for your day. We've had a few flurries here and there this morning across parts of the area. They're not going to cause any issues. So if you do see one, don't worry about any slick spots on the roadways. They are not going to be that strong, that intense to cause any issues. The bigger storm system is down to our south, and the storm track basically the last week and a half has been to our south, with these storms moving through Mississippi, Alabama, and then eventually up the East Coast, essentially just going right around Indiana. And this one is going to make its way up the East Coast as well, but it will hopefully start to allow us to thin the clouds out as that storm system moves a little further off to the east. But look at your highs today. Logansport, you're only up to 28 degrees, 29 in Kokomo, as well as Frankfort, Anderson at 31, Noblesville 31 degrees as well, 32 here in Indy as well as Martinsville. And then in southern locations, temperatures are going to be in the low 30s. Going forward this evening, it's chilly. We're still in the 20s with skies that should start to clear a little bit once the sun sets, and that'll set us up for a very chilly overnight period where I won't be shocked tomorrow morning when you join us that we have some temperatures that will be in the teens in northern locations, about 22 in Indy as well as Bloomington. And then for the day tomorrow, I do think we have a decent shot of getting some sunshine in here throughout the day tomorrow, with temperatures that will get up to right around 40. And tomorrow is going to start a bit of a warming trend that is going to take us through the middle of the week, and enjoy those temperatures. It'll be climbing up into the 40s, because I want to draw your attention. I know I jumped ahead here almost the whole week. Here we are at 7:30 on a Friday morning. We're going to get a pretty good push of colder air that's going to come in here Friday night and then into Saturday. And we're going to be dealing with some scattered snow showers, which could put down some minor accumulation. We're not looking at any substantial snowfall totals, but maybe potentially enough to slicken up the streets and spots if that plays out. Still plenty of time to fine tune that forecast, but we do get another push of colder air, Lauren, by the weekend, with highs that'll be in the low 30s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic for your commute. This is I-465 and West 56th Street over on the northwest side of town, where traffic is moving along smoothly. Right now, I'm not monitoring any crashes for your commute. We'll continue to keep you updated, though, as you're starting your Monday off with us. And of course, it looks like they just changed the camera a little bit here, but it does look a little busier in this view. We'll keep you updated, Raphael.
Keep us posted on that, Lauren. Thank you. In the NFL, the first round of playoffs, as you know, is over. The season is over for the Colts. That's a bummer. Go Colts next year, right? But here's the matchups coming up the next several days. In the AFC, the Chiefs will face the Browns, who upset the Steelers in a big win last night. I am sure the celebration is ongoing in Cleveland this morning. The Bills will play the Ravens, of course. And in the NFC, the Packers will play the Rams. And Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will take on the Saints. Lauren?
And now is the time for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's your chance to win 3 tickets to see Mickey Mouse, Elsa, Belle, and of course more of your favorites at Disney on Ice. That show is set for this Wednesday, January 13th at 7 p.m. at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All you have to do is be the 6th caller right now. The phone number's on your screen. It's 317-269-1459. If you don't win now, we have another giveaway coming up in just minutes. Good luck to you. It is 6:22. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The time right now is 6:25. Raphael and Megan, this is a time where we chat about what is trending at 6. So, Raphael, how surprised would you be if you came here and looked in the company kitchen vending machine and saw COVID tests that you could buy?
I would welcome that. Listen, whatever it takes to make this thing easier, let's just get through this thing. Come on, give me the test, give me my shot. I want to be back at work. Come on.
Well, we want you to come back here.
Yes.
Sorry to disappoint you. They're not in our vending machines, but some colleges, they're adapting to make COVID-19 testing a lot easier for their students. And for one university, that means getting your test right out of a vending machine. The University of California, San Diego installed 11 of these machines on their campus. So all students have to do is stop by one, grab their test, swab outside, return the vial within 72 hours, and the results come back within about 2 days. Pretty easy.
That's
Sounds
a good
practical.
thing. Yeah.
I like it. Well, take a look at this. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris has made the cover of Vogue, but there's controversy over the picture. The magazine tweeted 2 cover pictures on Twitter. A source says Harris approved the one in the light blue suit, but not the photo with her in the black suit and the sneakers. Now, Vogue says it thought an informal photo would capture Harris's approachable nature. Harris has since asked them to replace the image. I think she looks great in both. She's such a great
I'm surprised she didn't approve it if she stood there and took the picture in it.
Yeah. Well,
she's like, huh, I didn't think, I'd be like me, I didn't think you were going to get my shoes in this shot.
I wonder if Vogue will just publish both editions and let the public decide which cover they want. Because that's the February cover, which is going to be out in a couple of days. So we'll see what happens, right?
See.
It's a great way, of course, to create a buzz, to get people to buy the magazine. So I think there was some planning in this. So I don't know.
Possibly.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, it's like spring cleaning and your New Year's resolution all combined in one. What a collision. Did you know? Check your calendars. Today is National Clean Off Your Desk Day. If you happen to be at work, that is. It happens every second Monday in January. And of course, it's a time for you to clean up the mess around your office mates, if you have an office mate this time of year. And of course, to keep it all tidy. Of course, my desk back at WRTV has been cleaner than ever because I've not been there for nearly a year. And here at home, Todd Clausen, I can't vouch. Mrs. Sanchez, I'm sure if she could, would jump into the screen right now and say that I need the waste trash service to come in and help me out.
My desk is nice and clean. Look at this. There's nothing on it but a mouse and a keyboard. So, you know, nice and tidy over here in the Weather Center, Raphael. We even cleaned off the dust, so we're in good shape. All right, outside right now. Temperatures are in the 20s. It's a chilly start to the day with wind chills that are currently sitting in the teens. So you definitely need to bundle up if you're going to be out and about. 24 is the current temperature in Martinsville. 27 is the current temperature in Muncie. Now, the temperatures are just not really going to warm a whole lot as we work our way throughout the course of the day today and then going forward in this forecast. We do start to warm up out of the 30s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it's a nice reprieve from the really cold weather. But then we get another push of colder air that comes in here by the end of the week. And with that colder air will come the potential of some snow showers as well.
Thanks, Todd. It's now mid-January, but people everywhere are complaining about some gifts that still have not arrived. And this time it has nothing to do with the post office. Consumer reporter John Matarese explains why some people are still waiting so you don't waste your money.
Some families all around the country are very disappointed this new year because a holiday gift they ordered never showed up. As one woman learned, it may have to do with where that gift was shipped from. Emily Overton loves her French bulldog patty cake.
Spoiled little girl.
She wanted to surprise her young son on Christmas morning with a picture of patty cake on a pillow.
You know how when you start talking about things and then they all of a sudden pop up on your Facebook feed.
She saw an ad for the pet pillow and placed an order a month before Christmas. 3 weeks later, she emailed the company.
It was December 20th was when they responded to me and told me that it was shipped.
But her pillow was on the other side of the globe.
If I started to check the tracking number and it was in China somewhere.
An online search turned up dozens of complaints.
So then I got on their Facebook page and started to look at some of the comments and found that some of the other people were having the same issues and they never received their items.
This is becoming a common complaint from people who place orders from retailers they find on Facebook or Instagram. Many of those companies are based in China, and delivery can take months. So how can you protect yourself? Before you order, check a company's location and read online reviews. The pet pillow is legitimate, not a scam, but it's based in Hong Kong, according to its website. We found a similar company that makes pet pillows that doesn't list any address, but a top payment option is the Vietnamese dong, suggesting your pillow may have a long boat ride. Emily's going to research more next time.
And I just ordered without thinking, so make sure you check.
Some pet pillow customers are saying their order did show up after a few months. That's why it's important to check out a company before you order so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning, this is your 6:30 news feed. Metro Police investigating a shooting on the northwest side that left one person in critical condition. Police say the victim was shot Sunday afternoon near West 71st Street and Georgetown Road. They were then driven to Methodist Hospital. There's no word yet on a suspect or a motive in this ongoing case.
And 3 people, including a child, are recovering after a car collided with an Indianapolis fire truck on an emergency run. It happened Sunday afternoon near East 10th Street and Arlington Avenue. We're told that one woman's car crashed into the fire engine when she failed to yield to a red light. Engine 25 was responding to a possible apartment fire with lights and sirens on at the time of the crash. No firefighters were injured.
If you're a fan of IndyCar, you'll have to wait longer for the beginning of the race season. That's because of the pandemic. IndyCar officials say the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg has been moved from March 7th to April 25th. That means the first race of the season is now on the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama on April 11th, and the change will not affect the dates of the race in the month of May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good morning. Time now is 6:32. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Megan Shen. Joined here in the studio by Lauren Casey, of course.
Yeah, good morning, Megan. And Raphael, it is great to see you down there in Johnson County. Hopefully you're staying warm inside.
Warm and toasty with these big lights here in the living room studio. And Todd Clausen, there is no need for a groundhog because when Lauren Casey puts away her Christmas gifts and decorations in the middle of January, that means that spring is around the corner. That's what I'm saying.
It is getting closer. I mean, she just tucks them away for about 7 months, and then in July, they're starting to come out again.
That's right.
It's not that early, but we know around Halloween what she's doing. Outside right now, we're dealing with lots of clouds around. Once again, the groundhog is keeping the shadows away here as we go out through the past week or so, as we haven't seen much of anything in the way of sunshine. And today, I do think hopefully by this afternoon, we're starting to work a little bit of sunshine into this forecast. Temperatures are in the mid-20s this morning in Indy as well as Bloomington. Wind chills are in the teens, though, so you definitely need to bundle up if you're going to be out and about. There's a few flurries this morning. Don't be shocked if you see them as you get going here on this Monday morning. But the bigger storm system with some accumulating snow, believe it or not, in Mississippi as well as Alabama, that is going to stay to our south. Just be patient here as we get into the afternoon hours. Hopefully a little bit of sunshine will start to work in, but temperatures not going to do much throughout the day today. We're in the mid-20s here this morning with high temperatures, Lauren, that'll be topping off only right around 32 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. It's Monday, and here's a look at I-465 and Emerson Avenue, the southeast side where traffic is picking up for you. Traveling up to speed with eastbound and westbound across the Beech Grove area. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any delays that might slow you down. Right now, things are smooth sailing. Raphael.
We are following a developing story out of Capitol Hill this morning. Vice President Mike Pence, Indiana's former governor, is now facing an ultimatum on President Trump from the Speaker of the House.
That's right, Raphael. Indianapolis Congressman Andre Carson is among more than 200 members of the House who have signed on to new articles of impeachment following last week's riot at the U.S. Capitol. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, House Democrats vow to move forward with impeachment legislation, even with just days left in Donald Trump's presidency. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi telling CBS's 60 Minutes, if Trump's cabinet and Vice President Mike Pence do not invoke the 25th Amendment, a vehicle to remove the president from office, then impeachment it is.
I like the 25th Amendment because it gets rid of him. He's out of office. But there is strong support in the Congress for impeaching the president a second time.
Democrats feel they have no choice but to fast-track a second impeachment during Trump's final days in office, demanding he be held accountable for last week's Capitol siege. Speaker Pelosi readying her party with a single article of impeachment, charging Trump with incitement of insurrection. At least 200 lawmakers support the resolution, but so far, not a single Republican has publicly signed on. The latest ABC News Ipsos poll finds a majority of Americans want Trump removed from office, but only 13% of Republicans support removal.
I think the best thing for the country to heal would be for him to resign. The next best thing is the 25th Amendment.
The violent rampage that consumed Capitol Hill last Wednesday came moments after Trump urged his supporters to be strong at this rally.
We're going to the Capitol, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
A deadly riot ensued as Congress confirmed Joe Biden's election victory. Roughly 60 criminal cases have been opened on people suspected of taking part in the mayhem. The Department of Justice says at least 20 are facing federal charges. Adam Johnson from Florida, who was seen in this viral photograph carrying Speaker Pelosi's lectern, and Arkansas's Richard Barnett, the man who would pose for pictures on the House Speaker's desk. And the Democratic caucus is holding a private call this afternoon to discuss how to move forward. And the House could vote on an impeachment bill as early as this week. Still, a conviction in the Senate is highly unlikely, but if successful, it would potentially mean President Trump could never run for public office again. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home, Governor Holcomb has directed all flags in the state to be flown at half staff in honor of U.S. Capitol Police officers Brian Sicknick and Howard Liebengood. Both officers were on duty during Wednesday's insurrection at the Capitol. Officer Sicknick was injured while engaging with rioters and collapsed after returning to his department. A statement from Capitol Police says Liebengood died while off duty.
She says that systemic racism is costing lives. Next, how one state lawmaker wants to make sure that everyone gets the same treatment when they get sick. Megan?
And the global pandemic is a major roadblock for people suffering from other medical problems. Next, we hear from a new mother fighting through a common condition, but without some of the usual lines of support. Stick with us. That's right after the break.
Of Sylvania bulbs today and see better tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana on this Monday. The latest now on the pandemic, its impact on our state. The state health department says COVID-19 cases continue to rise. Here's the latest numbers. The latest report from the state health department shows that more than 5,000 new cases of COVID-19 added to the state's total. Our 7-day positivity rate is just over 16%. An additional 18 Hoosier deaths were reported. That raises Indiana's death toll to more than 8,600. Lauren?
And Raphael, thousands more Hoosiers will be able to get vaccinated for COVID-19 starting today. Many local health departments will start administering the COVID-19 vaccine to seniors ages 80 and older. Medical workers and members of law enforcement are also eligible at this time. All appointments will be made through the state. Eligible seniors and first responders can go to the website ourshot.in.gov or call 211 to get more information.
The head of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus wants lawmakers to address racial disparities when it comes to health care. Representative Robin Shackelford is introducing a bill that would require medical professionals to go through cultural awareness and diversity training. It follows the deaths of 2 local doctors. Last month, Dr. Susan Moore died of COVID-19. That's after she complained of receiving improper medical care at IU Health North Hospital because she was Black. 2 months before that, Dr. Shanice Wallace died after giving birth due to pregnancy complications. Both deaths gained national attention.
Minorities feel they're not listened to by their healthcare staff, by their doctors. Sometimes they feel like they're talked down to. If they ask questions, they're getting very intimidated. What this will do will create a statewide requirement that we are actually collecting data of patients' experiences based on their race, their religion, their sex, their sexual orientation, their disability status.
Under the bill, the training would be designed by the Office of Minority Health, plus the State Department of Health. Officials say that ensures people of color have an input.
Now, because of the pandemic, some people are not getting the treatment for other health problems they may be experiencing. And that's especially true, Raphael, for people with any mental health issues.
Yeah, major issue for so many families across Indiana, Lauren. Our Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning with the story of a young mother who's struggled with postpartum depression and still can't get the help that she needs. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So I spoke to Savannah Gannon, and she says she had her baby just about 3 months ago. And she says between those postpartum hormones and the feeling of isolation that came with the pandemic, she said her mind went places she never thought it could.
Yeah, it's a scary thing.
Savannah Gannon says she was having lunch with her 2 kids the first time she thought life would be better if she wasn't here.
My little infant would not stop crying, and she just would. And that's just babies, that's normal. And you should be able to deal with that, or feel like you have the support to deal with that. And I just didn't at the time.
She says she does have a very good support system between her husband and her large family.
Sometimes the postpartum depression just takes over, and I sat there and I thought, oh my gosh, I think it would just be better off if I wasn't here, and stuff like that. And it was scary. I thought, that's not a good thought to have.
After that, she tells me she reached out to her care provider for help. As a result of the pandemic, Gannon lost her job and was on Medicaid at the time and had to be on a long wait list before she could get help.
There's a lot of things that are really hard, especially about Medicaid, which is honestly the wait list.
Sarah Bailey works with Infancy Onward and says it's important both new moms and dads are aware of the signs and symptoms of PPD.
The peak depression time can be 4 to 6 weeks after birth, or even 3 to 6 months then again after birth. And so, if this person is not getting in to see a doctor regularly, we're not doing these checkups, and we're not checking on mom and dad and family, and really seeing what we can do to help these people. And then from then we have to take a next step and see, now that, mom has said she's having some problems and really would like some help, what do we do to support her?
Gannon's daughter is nearly 3 months old now, and she has still not been able to talk to a licensed therapist. Luckily, she reached out online to family and friends and is feeling okay today.
I do think COVID has a lot to do with it, but I also think that just our postpartum care in general is just so outdated, and it needs to be changed, and something needs to change. All these mamas going through this, we can't do it alone anymore.
So on the day I interviewed Gannon, she did get a call that morning that her appointment to talk to a therapist had been postponed once again. So she has still not gotten the professional help that she needs. And Bailey says that there are a lot of resources, especially in Marion County, that folks can use. And we've got those links for you right now over on WRTV.com. And then, of course, in an emergency, you can always call the National Suicide Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, as you get going here on this Monday morning, starting off the first commute of the new work week, you're walking out to maybe a few flurries, and that is just about it. Skies are mostly cloudy, but it is chilly out there with temperatures only in the mid-20s. Coming home from work, maybe a few peaks of sunshine, but we're not looking at anything spectacular in the way of sunshine today. With high temperatures, they'll top off right around 32 degrees. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up when WRTV continues here with Good Morning Indiana.
Keller, right now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A Girl Scout is collecting used cell phones, all in an effort to help victims of domestic violence. Katie Dunn collected phones Sunday at the Carmel Police Department. Now, this all started when a neighbor put out a group text asking if anyone had a spare phone for her friend. That friend and her young children had been kicked out of their home by an abusive husband. So Dunn heard the story and she took action. She started the phone drive last year, and her mom says she is so proud of taking action on this issue. The phones will be donated to the Julian Center. That organization provides shelter and support to victims of domestic violence. Megan?
Oh, love her initiative. Thanks, Raphael. Well, a church here in Indy is making a major investment in its neighborhood. New Direction Church was awarded a $75,000 grant from the Lilly Endowment, Lauren.
And Megan, that money will be used to help with rental assistance, groceries for families, scholarships, and to help with housing. The church's pastor says even though they aren't holding indoor services right now, there is still a ministry and there's work that needs to be done. And this grant is going to be a big help.
This was something, we were blindsided by the blessing. I got a phone call from Lily's Endowment, and they said that they wanted to speak to us. It was at the end of 2020. And so I was on the phone conference with them, and they shared with us their desire to help us make a difference. They highlighted us and they thanked us for the work that we've done in our community. And they said, we want to be a blessing to you all so that you can continue the efforts.
Well, along with the grant money, New Direction is putting up $25,000 of the church's own money to support these programs. Some good news there, Todd. Let's get a look at our forecast for today. Any good news here for this January?
As we go throughout the middle of the week, we'll be running about 10 degrees above normal, and that puts temperatures in the mid-40s as the week progresses, Lauren. So that's good news. Now, if we can just get the 40s in here with some sunshine, that will be even better. And I do think as the week goes on, we do see more in the way of sunshine. Today, though, the clouds still hang pretty tough. I just mentioned that warming trend. And then as we get into the latter half of the week and into the weekends, we get another push of real cold air coming in and the potential for a few snow showers. Don't be shocked if you see a flurry this morning, but otherwise, it's pretty quiet out there with just the mostly cloudy skies. 25 is the current temperature, but it currently feels like 16 in Indy. And when you factor in that light wind that is out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the wind's not very strong, but it is enough to take these temperatures that are in the mid-20s and drop them down into the teens. Feels like 16 right now in Indy, 18 is what it feels like in Bloomington, and 17 is the real feel value as you make your way up into the Peru area. Temperatures today, boy, they are just going to struggle to warm. We're only looking at about 28 degrees by the noon hour. By 2 p.m., we're sitting at 30 degrees, and then throughout the afternoon, we only get up to about 32 to maybe 33 degrees for your afternoon high. With the skies that'll be mostly cloudy, and the clouds may thin for a little bit of sunshine here or there throughout the afternoon hours, but overall, I do think this Monday is still a mostly cloudy day. Look at this heavy snow in central Mississippi as well as Alabama. They had snow in Austin, Texas yesterday, and here in central Indiana, we're still sitting at under 3 inches of snow in Indianapolis. This storm will pass off to our east. You don't have to worry about that. And then this evening, temperatures will be in the 20s. Tomorrow morning, it is going to be even colder than this morning as actual temperatures will be right around 22 in Indy. Wouldn't be shocked if we see some teens in some of the outlying areas come tomorrow morning. But then we'll start the warm up. We're looking at temperatures tomorrow with some sunshine finally returning, getting up to right around 40 degrees. And then as we continue throughout the week, 44 degrees for your high temperature by the time we get to Wednesday. And we should be right around 44 on Thursday as well as the clouds start to gather once again. Now, Friday into Saturday, we get a push of a colder air. It's not a real Arctic blast, as you see temperatures will be in the 30s, but as that colder air comes in on Friday and Saturday, snow showers will be a possibility. Not a major storm system, but enough, Lauren, if everything plays out like it looks at least right now, for maybe some minor accumulation across the area.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out to work early this morning. This is I-465 and State Road 67, Kentucky Avenue on the southwest side. Traffic in this spot is traveling up to speed, no delays to slow you down. Just be aware, just got an alert about a crash over on the east side on 465. It's on the southbound side of the interstate. Traveling on 465 as you're approaching I-70. Do have a little bit of a backup due to a left lane closure in that area. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. Megan?
Lauren, thanks. It's back. Elsa, Ariel, and all your other Disney favorites will be hitting the ice this week at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Right now, you have a chance to win a family 3-pack of tickets to this Wednesday's performance of Disney on Ice. All you have to do is call the number on your screen. That number is 317-269-1459. Take a look right now. Caller number 6 is the winner, so call now and best of luck to you. Your top stories and one more check of your forecast are next. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV. Welcome back at 6:55 on Good Morning Indiana. We'll check your chilly forecast with meteorologist Todd Clausen in a moment, but first, your top stories.
Let's get right to it. That search continues for an escaped inmate from the Hancock County Jail who is described as violent and dangerous. A 22-year-old Tyrell Deshaun White escaped from the county jail in Hancock County in Greenfield around 6:30 last night. White is from Indianapolis and could be in Marion County. He is awaiting trial on several charges, including theft and unlawful possession of a firearm. If you see him, you're asked to call 911.
And people who stay or sleep in a Bloomington park must leave by tonight. That city says it's cracking down on homelessness in Seminary Park. This comes after a 51-year-old man was found dead in the park on Christmas Eve. A sign posted at the park gave a notice about this enforcement. The Bloomington Homeless Coalition has started a petition asking the mayor to stop removing people from the park. Let's get one final check of our forecast on this Monday, Todd.
Yeah, Lauren, pretty quiet today across the area with temperatures that are going to be struggling to warm into the low to mid 30s. More clouds and sunshine, but then we expect the clouds to thin just a little bit this afternoon. Finally, some sun and warmer temperatures as we work our way into the middle of the week. Temperatures in the mid 40s for Wednesday and Thursday. And then a colder push of air comes in again for the weekend. As that colder air comes in, there'll be the potential of some snow showers Friday and Saturday, but we are not looking at any major accumulation or major storm system heading our way.
Thanks, Todd. We're back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with the latest news, weather, and traffic updates.
And remember, all your news can be found throughout the day on the WRTV mobile app. I want to thank you for starting your work week with us here on Good Morning Indiana. Have a good one.